this year.
First pitch swinging, line drive, he's done it. John Means has no-hit the Mariners. They go! Brown fakes, dishes, Kyrie going for the 50-piece. Irving has 50!
Pressure from the Steelers. Mayfield in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Who else but T.J. Watt?
First downs on this drive. Heineke ends on McLaurin, touchdown!
Torres drives that ball center field, hit deep, going back near the wall. Wilkerson, maybe, nope, goodbye, home run. Get him out of there! Don't throw to him.
I never seen anything like
Put
it.
up four fingers.
I've never seen anything like it.
He is just tearing the Orioles apart.
Jonathan Taylor, goodbye, touchdown, Indy, as he crossed the tape at the goal line. 78 yards.
And here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast. I'm Stephen Clark with Justin Valentovic and Jesse Norman. And while Justin fixes his lights, us three fine gentlemen are here to preview and predict WWE Money in the Bank 2022. It's been a while since we've done, kind of just came back from doing our podcast, did our baseball one. We haven't done a wrestling one since, I believe, All Out. We skipped over Hell in a Cell as a pod and did our own predictions, which we'll get into those results and all that.
Double or Nothing was the last wrestling one.
Oh, Double or Nothing, not All Out. I get all their names confused. They're all the same to me.
Indeed, they are.
But yeah, we're here to talk wrestling today, and I'm excited. So, but before we get into all that stuff, fellas, how you doing this evening?
A lot better than Jesse.
Great. I've never been better. I couldn't see anything.
Your Pistons are looking good, Jesse.
Pistons have a nice, stable front office. Yeah. Yep.
We'll leave the basketball at that. That's how we're feeling.
To be a Nets fan.
Former Nets fan here.
Hey, man, we have our superstar locked up. That's here nor there. Let's talk some wrestling.
Jesse, that's a former Nets fan telling you about that.
I got out before I got fucked like he did.
I would rather have the Nets past 10 years than the Wizards past 10 years.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd rather have the Heat the past 10 years.
I'd rather have the Heat's past 10 years. I'd rather have the Warriors past 10 years.
No.
I mean,
we all can't be Joe Powell. But so, Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but whoa.
Whoa.
Two segments ahead, Jay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We actually have segments on this.
We have segments on this show. And we're going to start with the news first before we get into the Hell in a Cell predictions.
Team is back, baby.
Wait, who's winning the picks?
We're to get to that.
Oh.
You're skipping ahead.
I thought that's the freaking first segment.
We have news instead.
Okay, we're switching it up.
In the chat.
Why would we talk about
Logan
the
Paul
numbers and then jump to news and then go back to the numbers, Justin?
I don't know, dog.
That's bad programming.
I know it's bad programming. Thank you, Norman. All right, we have the news first. Couple of good, positive news that came out today. Or the last week or so, and some bad, not fun news to talk about, which happened in the last couple months. Let's start with a good thing that happened earlier today on June 30th, 2022, is that WWE signed Logan Paul, which I find very, very interesting. He's only had one match so far, and that was at this year's past WrestleMania. And he exceeded a lot of expectations. He's an entertainer to begin with, so I knew he was going to be great, but not as great as he was. And they signed him to some sort of deal, and it looks like it's leaning towards a match with Miz at SummerSlam. So, that's exciting.
What I was seeing on Twitter, too, is that it's multiple pay-per-views as well. It said in 2022 and 2023. So it's not just kind of like Bad Bunny, where he came back at Rumble after he had his Mania match. Doesn't it kind of feel like this was almost kind of always their move? Like when he went into boxing, right? People will say what you want about the legitimacy of those fights and who him and his brother have actually fought, but they're very theatrical in those fights where it's very pro wrestling-esque. So it kind of seems like that's almost where they were all trying to eventually maybe go. But when he had his match, it was very good. I think we all kind of agree that he was one of the better celebrities they've had in the past few years. So I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. Just how they use him and what they put him in could determine that. But as a whole, I really don't mind. But it's definitely the first superstar we've seen since they attempted with Gronk, who signed a contract, air quotes, whatever the hell that was. I'm saying that's what they tried to do with Gronk, was bring him in for multiple things.
No. It's literally just the idea of Gronk and like what he was in the WWE because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
No.
I'm fine with this though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bunch of extra money laying around from all these layoffs that they've still been doing. Sure, why not?
I thought
Bring
that money
in
was
Logan
going
Paul.
elsewhere.
No, money wasn't going anywhere else. I mean, besides paralegals.
Sasha Banks contract that they're giving him now.
But like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, he's a name. For all the things that WWE has right now, they certainly don't have a lot of big names and big stars besides Roman and pretty much Brock. They don't have anybody right now that transcends wrestling besides Cena, who's not really there.
And also Roman and Brock aren't even really there to begin with too. So
yeah, Roman's taking the summer off. So they don't have much right now. So yeah, might as well. That'll get them some mainstream stuff.
Yeah, it's rough right now. But no, I think that's a great signing. You know, he's popular and he's entertaining. I'm for it. Another signing that happened within the last 7 days, even less now, at Sunday, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view from AEW, we had Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro.
That is such a mouthful for him.
Castagnoli, the last part. It's no. That's not.
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
That is his real name.
Last name is Castagnoli. It's like you're saying cannoli, but you wanted to make it longer.
That I feel like he was bound to go there eventually. That's where everyone wanted him to go. So it's kind of just par for the course. When anyone of relevance leaves WWE, you can either go to Impact or AEW now. And no, he wasn't going to Impact.
He's too good to go to Impact.
Yeah, exactly. You know, kind of like the NXT cast-offs go to Impact, if we're being honest. That's kind of what it is, how it works.
Yeah. The 2 matches he's been in, he has been very good, and he got the win in the Blood and Guts match. He got the tap out on one of Jericho's young people,
whippersnappers.
Yeah, one of those young guys. Yeah, and the pay-per-view match was really good too. He comes out to really loud ovations. Honestly, I think they should sooner rather than later, if they're not gonna put the belt on him, they should run him and Moxley at least while he's so hot right now, because like people are really into it already, like from the beginning. I think him coming in for Brian Danielson, really helped.
Yeah, I'm cool with him in the main event, but honestly, put one of the mid-card titles on him too. I'm fine with that as a start.
Just give him anything.
Scorpio Sky is the TNT champ. I think Pac is what is that new one? The All Atlantic?
Mid-Atlantic?
Yeah. One of those. All Atlantic sounds good. Put that on him too. I mean,
Pac just won it. I don't think they'll give it to him right now.
They love their title runs.
Well, especially for the first title run.
Yes.
Yeah, they're always long. But no, that's exciting. That's where he should be. And I think he'll be great there. Let's get into the other part of the news, which, not as happy as signings and money and stuff. But I don't think in our last podcast, this whole Vince McMahon situation happened yet.
It's been a long time.
So yeah, that happened. This whole allegation against Vince McMahon, that he is covering up an affair that he had between someone who worked for the company and himself. Apparently a $3 million payout was made to this person.
Well, and the issue that it's being alleged is that he used company money to pay the hush money, which, paying hush money to cover things up, that's not the illegal part. It's now that WWE is a public funded company and a public traded company with actual shareholders and, virtually really invested in by other people, that's not where their money is supposed to go. So that is the problem and legal problems he's facing. It's kind of like when Jim Mercer used Colts money to buy cocaine.
Yeah.
That's why he got suspended, because those were funds that are not meant for that. But yeah, Vince is kind of being a nutcase with how he was addressing it to start out.
You mean showing up on TV more?
Every week almost.
Every week? They announced that he was going to be on SmackDown, and then he went to SmackDown and just said, "We're all in this together. Wildcats forever." And literally jumped off the steps at one point. Like,
Yeah,
It's
and
so
even
bad.
like 2 weeks ago, he said Cena's coming to Raw next week, and this past Monday he shows up and says Cena's here, and this dips. Like
I understand
don't know if he's trying to
hyping
get.
up that John Cena's coming, but why do you need Vince McMahon, the guy who is just being found out for signing a non-disclosure $3 million agreement about a paralegal who was working for the company who, in quotes, was passed to John Laurinaitis at one point? This is also this is the craziest part, right? This is the craziest part when you think about it. Like, this isn't that long ago.
No.
Vince is like 70 something doing this shit.
But the way he's handling it, right? Appearing on TV and just kind of like giving the middle finger to everybody. Did we expect him to do it any other way, if we're being honest?
No, and I'm gonna say exactly why. Because
he's a fucking cartoon character.
Do you remember? Well, obviously we don't remember, but if you go back and watch the 9/11, the SmackDown after 9/11, Stephanie goes on and does like a video thing comparing 9/11 to the steroid trials when like her dad was like getting ripped down like for things that he did. Like he gave those wrestlers steroids.
That's where he had to admit that wrestling wasn't like real. And it was
Well, that was his whole thing. And that
good old New Jersey caused that.
And that was, he didn't give, the wrestlers steroids. He just really wanted them to take steroids and stuff. But yes, I do believe that Vince was just like, I've been accused of something. Well, that's just ridiculous. So I'm just going to stay on TV.
Innocent until proven guilty.
I think that's his way of trying to get people to forget about it too.
But it's not. It's like, dude, we know why you're doing it. It makes it more obvious.
There's probably some fat basement virgins that are like,
well, and it makes it worse because like every news. I mean, at this point, I guess now like it's kind of nobody cares as much. It's kind of died down. But for like a little bit there, like ESPN was talking about, like it was on Sports Center and stuff like that about things like Stephanie was taking over the company. Like things were supposed to be happening. And now it's just like, oh no, Vince is on TV more now.
He's still doing creative. So is he really going away? No, he's just there. So if he gets sued for anything,
it's just if he gets sued, Stephanie is in charge. The company can't be. Company can't be liable for anything. I watched 5 episodes of Winning Time.
One last bit of news that happened again a couple of weeks ago. That Jeff Hardy and another DUI ski for him. It's not looking too hot.
I hope he gets the help he needs.
That's all.
It sucks. I hope AEW. They're basically, if he stays sober, they will back him and help him out. And they're saying the ball's in his court, but we'll back you up if you need it. That's basically what they're doing.
I hope the rehab and stuff works for him because I know when he went on the Steve Austin podcast, he said about how he doesn't feel like rehab is for him and he likes to have like his own personal time and stuff to do it. Jeff, I don't think that has worked so far. So I think hopefully rehab will help.
And I think AEW did suspend him, which is
they did suspend him without pay until he clears a rehab program.
That is the right move to do, and hopefully he gets clean. Not much more to say on that. All right, let's get into last pay-per-views reaction. Not reaction. We don't care about what happened last pay-per-view.
The standings.
The standings. Justin's favorite part of this podcast.
I think I know what happened. I remember it actually now.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to say this.
Fuck you, Jesse.
I submitted my picks.
Justin submitted his picks. I did
not submit his picks. So.
That's okay though, because I was the only one who wrote one for Forbidden Door, and I actually got a perfect card.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Jesse just said the equivalent of going undefeated in the preseason.
Yeah. I mean, that's great, Jesse.
Justin, did you just call New Japan the minor leagues? Wow. The Marks are not going to be happy, buddy.
Ooh, all of our 2 viewers.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that. You'll never work in this town again.
But no, Jesse didn't submit his picks. Justin and I had the same picks. We both go up 1 point. We have the same pick.
Yeah, this seems fishy. This seems a little fishy.
I have the text from Justin, and I have mine on my phone if you want to see.
Mhm.
So I
Okay.
have a score of 8 in first place. Solely in second place is Justin. A score of 4.
Wait, what for?
Yeah, 4.
Have 4, Justin.
You have 4. You have half of what I have.
You're
And in
4
last,
back.
with a score of 3, is Jesse.
You have 3/4 what I have, Jesse.
Justin, we both have to pay for the shirt.
Okay.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
He doesn't
matter
want to come in
if
last
you
again.
come
He's on,
first.
no, it doesn't even matter.
I'm rebuilding.
If there was
I'm
10
rebuilding.
people in
Jim.
here.
You're
Justin just wants to beat
rebuilding.
Jesse. That's all he wants to do. If this was like 10 people in here, it wouldn't matter. But yeah, the only reason Justin's up 1 is because Jesse forgot. Probably would have been a 3-way tie because it was a super predictable pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was which pay-per-view was that again?
Hell in a Cell with
Yep.
Cody.
With missing an arm practically.
Yeah, that one.
Missing an arm, Cody.
Yeah. So 8-4-3. That's the standings. Let's get into Money in the Bank now. Enough with the past. We don't live in the past on the show.
We're not Yankee
That's
fans.
kind of our job. That's kind of our job to live in the past and break down what happened. But yeah, Money in the Bank's coming up, and card's all right. 2 Money in the Bank matches like usual. No Roman on the card, which is wild to think. He's only had like 1 match in the last like 2 months.
Yep.
That's what was gonna happen when they used
Yeah,
belts.
This is the order that was on.
Why did I
the
really
order
want to
looks
know
weird-
why they put both belts on him? And
Because they
I-
booked themselves into a corner and they kind of had to.
They didn't need to make it a title unification match.
Mhm.
Like they really didn't. They
They
didn't.
could
need to
have
put the belt on
just did what
top.
they did with Becky, had the
You-
belts be separate, and she holds both.
You could have just been running. You could have been running other title matches during this.
Yep.
Like if Roman was just immediately going to take this time off, what was the point of unifying it?
And they ran out of people, so they're running back Roman and Brock at SummerSlam again, anyways. So it's all for nothing.
Yippee-ki-yay.
But yeah, Money in the Bank. If the order looks weird in the doc, it's literally the order on WWE.com. I'm not trying to fix this for myself. So just saying, because Champ always goes first. And the first match on the card is one of Justin's one he's looking forward to the most on this whole card, which is the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, defending against Carmella. I know how much Justin's a fond Carmella follower. I'm a big fan of Mella and Graves. Big fan of their YouTube show they
They're
have.
very horny YouTube show.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like I've heard that it's like literally just like
it
sex.
still on?
thing after sex.
It's basically just softcore porn.
Is it still
It's
on?
just Corey just alluding to the fact that they have sex.
I would
Good
ass-
for you.
I would assume it's still on. WWE really backed that. But
Yeah, you're probably right.
who's your pick?
Bianca.
Yep, me too.
Bianca, yeah.
Very
Okay, let's
straightforward.
move on. Mella is money and she likes to get peed on. She's not the women's title champion.
I don't know if you guys saw on Monday though. Really quick about this. That's the only important thing because Carmella came out to interrupt Bianca. Whatever. She had a legit like Titantron. Like it was like legit like video, and it was kind
Oh
of
wow,
fire.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, wasn't it just
kinda
like a name?
No, it wasn't her name.
It was like the old school videos of them actually doing
yeah,
stuff.
it was like her like
Nice.
prancing around like a nice car or something. It was really cool. I like
Nice.
Anyways, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. 7 or 8. I don't know how many's in here, but
This actually
about
has a
that.
few. Honestly, everyone could win this.
I think this is the tougher one to pick.
It really, like now that I'm actually looking at it, it really is.
This is the toughest match of the whole card to pick for sure.
God, wow.
Yeah, let's announce the names, and Justin, you'll be the first one to pick.
And I'm not in second.
Because you're not, because Jesse's. Yeah, exactly. So women's Money in the Bank
Perfect.
ladder match. Our participants are Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lacey Evans, Asuka, and Shotzi. Justin, who are you taking and why?
I don't think more Liv because like they've given her so many chances, and it's just like, are they really gonna do this again with her having another title shot? Because if they do, they just have her lose. She'll be one of the few that actually lose because that's just what they've been doing to her. That and just throwing her with people to be a tag team now. Lacey Evans is definitely an interesting one since she came back recently. Asuka, of course. Give me Becky Lynch. I'm gonna go chalk with that
That's
one.
a safe bet.
I'm going chalk as well. Give me Becky briefcase. They'll call her
Yeah,
Big Beck briefcase.
I'm gonna change it up.
Like my gut, I would want to say Alexa Bliss, but it's like they don't give a shit about her anymore. Like they
No.
really don't.
I'm picking the one where we've seen vignettes for months upon months. I think it could be interesting with a little Money in the Bank run. Give me Lacey Evans. I'm gonna go with Lacey Evans as this. Never held the title before.
They've come close before she got pregnant last
She
time.
hasn't won the briefcase before, has she?
No, that's the last thing
No,
Becky kind of
nope.
needs.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like Becky's gonna get screwed out of it because that's kind of just her.
Well,
gimmick now.
her and Asuka will probably have their little spat. You know,
Yeah. They might take each other out too.
probably.
Becky and Asuka.
I'm sticking with my pick though.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince, but no, I'm gonna go with Lacey in this one just because my other pick goes to Raw, and brands don't really matter anymore, but kind of want to keep the briefcase.
Oof, Jesse gets a shit match.
Yeah, another one of Justin's favorites is the next match on here.
The crux of this feud is the stupidest shit I have ever fucking seen. I am sorry.
Let's announce the match, and I'll let you get right into what you love about the feud. It's SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus Natalia. Justin, what do you love about the feud? Tell
Nothing.
me.
Nothing at
The
all.
Twitter feud. The Twitter
Literally,
figure.
that's literally what
It's
it
about
is.
being a mom, and it's about boobs.
That's
and
literally it.
Botox.
Yes.
Ronda's gonna win.
So Jesse's taking Ronda. Everyone Ronda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep talking about Ronda matches. Like I'm already done. They pay her way too much money for me to not care about her.
And she's a face, which makes it boring. She needs to be just badass heel.
I don't even think I want badass heel Ronda. I think it's better
than
don't
what we
want
have
Ronda.
now. If Ronda
agree,
could be
but
around, I'd rather have that Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want her. I just don't think it's like good. I can't tell you like I get that yes, she's like a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
But like she's on a full contract.
Maybe she needs some action.
There's not what's a good Ronda Rousey match? That's
Her
like
first one.
Good.
When she
Her
tagged
first
Kurt
one.
Angle.
The Kurt Angle, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon one. Like again, it's like a gimmick thing.
Yeah.
They're just like treating her like she's like a real like professional wrestler, and it just to me
It's painful.
To me, it has not worked.
Who did she fight at Evolution? Was it Nikki?
That sounds about right.
I think so.
I don't think that was that bad.
I mean, yeah, but you also had Becky and Charlotte.
Becky and Charlotte, who
best game or the best match
matches of
ever.
all time. Like, yeah. All right, yeah, that's enough of Ronda Rousey for this podcast. Ronda around the table here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We're back to me for this one. Oh, okay.
Clarkski.
I have my pick in mind, but
read it off.
All right, I'm gonna read it off, baby. We have Riddle, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Omos, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, and someone who hasn't been announced yet. Before we get to our predictions, I don't know if there's a match on SmackDown. I don't think there is, so it's gonna be a mystery going into Saturday. Is there a chance it's Cody?
If he comes out in a fucking sling, that would be.
I mean, they did an interview with him on Monday Night Raw, and it's not bruised anymore.
That's the thing.
Like, no, stop.
But like, I feel like
possible.
he's insane. I feel like he's insane enough to try.
Yeah, I mean, he can hold on to the briefcase and not do anything. For
he could win the Otis way. Also, that's also a possibility.
Falls down to him,
catches it.
Oh no.
No.
Cena would be an interesting one.
I think it might. I was thinking Cena because Seth was like, "Oh,
well, are there any male
the Money in the Bank is
what if it's
sore
Roman
spot for you?"
Well, what if it's who?
Roman. So then just
I was gonna say Orton or Orton screwing over Riddle or something. Did you say Roman?
Yeah. What if Roman comes in,
come around, and Justin's gonna be like, "I think Roman's gonna win the Rumble."
No, seriously. What if he does that?
Roman
so then no one can challenge him then.
Honestly, you got a point. You got it's not a big point.
Okay, actually, if the bloodline just came through and just held on out the Money in the Bank, and then like Roman grabbed the briefcase, that would be kind of fire.
Yeah, mystery. It could be anyone. I think
who's been
possibility.
Hurt? I thought he was out for like a while.
I don't know. We were told Cody's out for 9 months. And
I don't think Cody could like.
God, they're like the Yankees with their injury timetable.
I think him and Cena. It took Cena 3 months to come back from that torn pec.
What if it's Triple H? You think the heart's ready?
So how long has Cody been out?
A month.
A month.
No. There's no physical way.
Watch it be Vince.
And I think
Shane.
That would be funny if it's
Laurinaitis.
all right, so I'm not picking mystery opponent as my
Give
thing.
me Riddle. I guess
I'm taking Riddle too. Yeah, 100%.
he's been winning a lot. I
Give
mean,
me
he doesn't get
Rollins.
he
That was my
also
other
got the
choice.
thing.
Well, because it'd be interesting if they had Becky and Seth, because they're embracing that there are a couple at least both had brace cases.
Okay.
That'd be
Oh,
good.
don't do that again.
Well, but that'd be kind of like
don't reference.
what? Don't reference what?
Don't reference like their relationship and it was bad last.
Well,
time.
When they did like the Baron
Yes.
Corbin, Lacey Evans.
The
But I'm
only
saying
time
it's like-
it was good was when Baron Corbin hit Becky with the end of days and then Seth.
Well,
but
that was
it took
like
3 matches to get there.
But that was like how AEW friggin' put the Owen Hart tournament on both Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Adam
so it's
Cole, yeah. Okay,
it's
but
like-
that's a little bit different. Everybody doesn't hate them.
No, I know.
When they're together.
But I'm just saying it'd be a very interesting. It'd be a very WWE thing for them to do.
I don't hate them when they're
That's-
together.
That's fair. I did that feud with Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin and them.
Oh yeah,
that
brutal.
The Constable.
That was awful. They literally blamed Baron Corbin for bad TV ratings for that.
Beast.
How's
no,
Baron?
I'm
Wait,
thinking-
what if it's probably could be Baron Corbin because this is where the whole happy gimmick started in Vegas. Just saying.
Give me a world title Baron run. I'd be hyped.
Didn't he win Money in the Bank already and lose it?
Yeah,
Yes,
because
he
Cena
lost
cost
to
him
gender.
cash-
That's
Cena
right,
cost
fuck him.
him.
tried to cash in on Jindy. Riddle. Yeah, Riddle for me too.
I'm
I
also
think it's
going-
fine.
yeah.
They're building them up like crazy. All right, 2 more matches on the docket. We each get to predict one first. Good job.
Cool.
The undisputed tag team titles are on the line. The Usos versus Street Profits. Justin, who are you taking and why?
Street Profits.
Wow.
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
The Street Profits have won every single match on Raw, so they are going to lose the paper.
I don't know that stat, but I was going to take the Usos anyways.
They keep doing the Jay versus Montez Ford, and then the next week,
Yeah, they
Jimmy
break 'em up, yeah.
versus Angela,
Jimmy
and then they
versus
like. And
Dawkins,
every time
yeah.
the Street Profits win, so you know that when they actually fight, they're not going to win.
And could we see I don't know. I feel like the Street Profits are like on the verge of like breaking up. I saw like that
I
picture they
agree.
posted of like Montez Jack.
Yeah.
I'm like, they want to push this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can
But
see
why
it.
can't they just do what they did with the New Day? That worked fine. You don't always have to bring a tag team up for them to go in a
but
sing.
Dawkins isn't good enough to be on his own, so
Yeah.
he's not going to get fired in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Dawkins,
that's-
oh yeah,
that's the problem.
Dawkins will be sent to catering and then forgot about,
Like Tucker.
and then yes, literally exactly like Tucker.
Is Tucker still with the
Um,
company?
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't think so.
I think he's in Impact now.
Is he
Hmm.
really?
I believe he is one of the few that went to like Impact.
Wow, good for
Yeesh.
him. I'm sorry, both of us, Jesse and I with the Usos, Justin with the Street Profits, and the last match on the card, Theory defending his United States title against Bobby Lashley. Jesse, who are you taking?
This is really tough.
I have reasoning for mine. when
I
you're
don't
ready.
think it's tough. I think I'm in the same wavelength as Clark.
I'm gonna go Theory.
Me too, because I think there's obviously setting up Theory versus Cena at SummerSlam, and I think he needs to do that.
See, I think they're setting up Theory Cena, but I
Cena,
don't
but-
think the title's on.
The
Theory.
title's probably not on the line.
That's why I'm going to big Bobby Rock, Bob Lashley.
You know what? Give me Bob. Give me
Ah.
Big Bob.
All right.
I can't.
I'm staying with Theory.
makes
I ain't no
sense.
bitch.
Had a boy.
That's why I'm
feel
going to be
like,
in last.
I feel like maybe there's a chance too if like Cena's around, maybe he costs him it. Maybe.
Oh, if we get Cena open challenges again for the rest of the summer after
I'd be cool with
SummerSlam,
that.
I'd be hot.
Yeah, there's no chance we would, but God, I wish.
I would be.
That would be incredible.
It's how like Cena like Ricochet and like Cena like all these like not Gunther's IC champ, so it can't be that yet.
Till they unify that too.
Just
At this
Cena
rate.
versus like all the young dudes that like don't get an opportunity again. That'd be great. All right. Well, that
Cool.
does it for any final thoughts for
Nah,
wrap this
Nah.
bad boy up?
take it home.
Take it home. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening, watching, whatever you guys are doing for this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Follow the socials at Sports Def Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's Sports DEPT Pod. I don't know what we got next. It's the middle of summer.
Maybe an NBA one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Free agency wrap up. Like, after free agency calms down, maybe a little bit.
The KD trade, the Kyrie
Yeah,
trade.
once that happens, that's actually
The Jalen Brunson signing, most importantly.
Once we figure out we're like KD.
Once they all end up.
Yeah, once KD,
Once
Kyrie,
the dust settles enough.
when we figure out what Mitchell's going on there.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, agreed.
Yeah, basketball one.
Cool.
Football soon?
Football will be August during training camps. We'll get through the divisions.
Oof. Do you want to do the conference at a time? We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. Yeah, wrestling ones for pay-per-views. Baseball we just did. That's doing pretty solid with the views. Baseball and wrestling are like our two highest ones.
Mock drafts.
Mock drafts too. Mock drafts are very high too.
1.0 coming out soon, Jesse. Where's Arch Manning going in 2026?
I don't think that would be his year, would it?
It would be because it would be his
Oh, that would
That'd be
be
his junior year.
because he's in his senior year now. 23 would be his freshman year.
Plus,
Yeah.
counting down the second.
All right. Well, if I had to guess early, I'm gonna go number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.